Sometimes we do a little bit. Sometimes we do a lot. Sometimes we just get tired of the struggle. Sometimes we do it right. Sometimes we do it wrong. Sometimes we live short. Sometimes we live long. Sometimes we got it on. Sometimes we got it off. Sometimes we didn't listen. Sometimes we paid the cost. Sometimes boss broke the record for doing the wrong things. I sing out the ball and I got the 3 rings. Sometimes we wake up hungry. Sometimes we sleep full. Sometimes they coming straight. Sometimes they on the bull. Sometimes you gotta watch. Sometimes you gotta sleep. Sometimes they ride along. Sometimes they coming deep. Sometimes when you the goat, they want you to be the sheep. Sometimes you gotta chill. Sometimes you in the streets. Sometimes we smoke gas. Sometimes the bag weak. Sometimes we call the plug. Sometimes dispensary. Sometimes I make jokes. Sometimes say how I'm living. Sometimes they say I'm broke. I laughed and bought the building. Sometimes we do it right. Sometimes we do it wrong. Sometimes, sometimes we live short. Sometimes we live long. Sometimes we got it on. Sometimes we got it all. Sometimes we didn't listen. Sometimes we paid the cost. Sometimes it ain't about what you got. Sometimes it is. Sometimes you chase the paper. Sometimes you face your fears. Sometimes we underwater. Sometimes we in the boat. Sometimes we get upset. Sometimes we get provoked. Sometimes that pussy good. Sometimes it's kinda loose. So many times it got that drop. Sometimes it got juice. Sometimes we up late. Sometimes we in the bag. Sometimes we get 8. Sometimes we get some head. Sometimes we got 2. Sometimes we got 1. Sometimes they come through. Sometimes they on the road. Sometimes you feel dirty. Sometimes you feel clean. Sometimes you feel happy. Sometimes you feel mean. Sometimes you wanna work. Sometimes you wanna quit. Sometimes you just get tired of the same old shit. Sometimes we do it right. Sometimes we do it wrong. Sometimes we live short. Sometimes we live low. Sometimes we got it on. Sometimes we got it all. Sometimes we didn't listen. Sometimes we paid the cost. Sometimes we do a little bit. Sometimes we do a little bit. Sometimes we do a little bit. Sometimes.